More than 3.5 million Americans have now received cancellation notices for their health insurance because of Obamacare. The president apologized to them this week, but what are folks outside the Beltway saying? We're going to hear from two of them now. Stephen Curry joins us from Chicago. Cade Joyner is in Atlanta. They're both businessmen who have lost their health care plans. With us here in studio is Ron Pollock, Executive Director of Families USA, who's working closely with the White House on the rollout of Obamacare. Steve, let's start with you. And we want to put up the letter that you received from Blue Cross Blue Shield of Illinois canceling your current policy. You were paying $877 a month for your family of four with a $3,500 deductible. The new plan they offered you under Obamacare is $525 a month, but with a $12,700 deductible. Steve, as a small businessman who doesn't qualify for a subsidy, what's your reaction to what's happened to you?
Well, let me mention a little bit. Good morning, Chris. Want to say a little bit about that. The $500 policy that you're looking at actually is a shortened network than what I had before. So actually, it's not the same network I can use. So if I was to pair up the networks and have a policy that was comparable to mine, there is none. My out-of-pocket for my family is $3,500, and then everything else is paid at 100%. The closest thing I could find that's comparable, as they say, was a $12,000 out-of-pocket for my family. So there's a huge difference in there, and I looked through all the different plans, and either you pay a lot more in premium, like 60% more in premium, and have more out-of-pockets. There is absolutely nothing that's even close to my plan design that I have now.
Okay, let's bring in Cade. You were canceled by Blue Cross Blue Shield of Georgia, and you say that to get a new policy after you were canceled would cost you 60 to 70% more in premiums. Your reaction?
Yes, Chris, I had my policy in effect for over 3.5 years and received a letter in the mail stating that it was going to be canceled. I called around and found out the same policy would cost me almost $500 a month, and I just found that not acceptable. I'm a small business owner. I have 8 employees. I have to make a payroll every week, and that sort of increase is just hard to manage.
Well, as you both know, President Obama apologized this week directly to people like you who lost your policies, who lost your insurance policies. Let's take a look at what the president had to say.
Even though it's a small percentage of folks who may be disadvantaged, you know, it means a lot to them, and it's scary to them. And I am sorry that they, are finding themselves in this situation based on assurances they got from me.
Cade, your reaction. What did you think of the president's apology?
Well, he is right about one thing. It is scary, but it's only scary because he's made it that way by changing the rules in the middle of the game. Now, we were told countless times if we wanted to keep our current insurance, we could, and that was just not true, as I found out. But this president forced a piece of legislation out that wasn't ready for prime time. He pushed it through Congress, and now he's pushed it on the American people. And the real victims are people like Stephen and myself.
All right.